Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome to Isabella Banks YouTube channel. How's your week been going so far? I'm Whizzy, and it's great to be here this evening. Guys, we have a few things to talk about. Let us start off with this where we stopped on Saturday. We know we had just come off celebrating the proposed. Did I say Saturday? No, on Tuesday. We had just come off celebrating the proposed release of the paperback version of Spare. Making all sorts of plans to review it, to do a quiz. Things are happening behind the scenes in preparation for it. And of course, I kind of knew that uh, events don't just happen in isolation in Sussex world, right? So Harry and Meghan were obviously they absolutely knew that the toxic British media would come for them once they would realize that the paperback version of Despair was going to be released, especially since they had gone ahead to confirm to the whole world that there would be no paperback version, which means that Random House and Prince Harry confirming that there was going to be a paperback version would not only debunk their fake story but also embarrass them. So I was completely expecting that they would want to get their own pound of flesh back, as childish as that may seem. So, um, what did they do? So they knew that the toxic British media would not be able to help themselves. I will talk down the book, release a barrage of negative stories, everything that they had been through before. And we saw what they did, right? That's exactly what they did. And my goodness, Harry and Meghan fighting back against the negative media this week was a masterclass in how to fight back against people who are intent on waging a smear campaign against you. And let me tell you, they did a fantastic job. So, what am I talking about with all of this? Well, I'm going to tell you in a second. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Whizzy, and welcome to Isabella Banks YouTube channel. Let me say hello to the people in the chat. Hi, Sean. Hi, Rosaline. Hi, Marcia. Hi, Gwen. Sean says, when did Harry go to the UK? Oh, I'm going to be talking about that in a second. Just give me a moment. So, first of all, I'm going to be talking about the battle. I know that this has been widely reported, Prince Harry's trip to New York has been widely reported, but I tend to look at things from the perspective of analyzing where everyone is in the ongoing battle. Okay, what battle am I talking about? I'm talking about the smear campaign, which is um, being waged against Harry and Meghan at the moment. And Harry and Meghan are fighting back in the ways that are available to them. So let's look at what they did. Let's look at what they did because it was really very interesting to see husband and wife working in tandem against the toxic British media, and they wiped the floor with them. So all Harry did was to announce that he was going to New York. And of course, I first of all thought to myself, well, okay, you're going to New York, but why do I need to know this information? I was confused. I was like, see, if you're going to New York, why do you need to announce that you're going to New York? Like, no judgment, but I just was confused about the reason why the announcement was made. Was I the only one thinking that way? Let me know in the chat if you ever thought about that question. Like, why did you need to announce that you were going to New York. I thought, okay, you can go to New York, and especially with the security concerns that you're having. And then I remembered, see, I remembered because things, as I said at the beginning of this video, they don't happen in isolation. Okay. Harry has just announced that the paperback version of The Spare is coming out. He has been roasted left and right. If it was chicken, he would be roast chicken by now. So, of course, this was their way of not only promoting the events that he's going to be engaged in when he gets to New York, promoting the charities that he's going to be involved with, but also his way of seizing back the headlines, to turn the headlines away from the negative narrative that is being projected by the toxic British media. And it worked because for days and days on end, that's all everybody was talking about. Now, the toxic British media they made a huge attempt, to try and get the headlines back. But they were too late because Harry and Meghan have been, you study your enemy to know exactly what is going to do when you do anything. And unfortunately for them, the toxic British media now have a template. Okay, when Harry does this, he does certain things, they bring this level of pushback against it. When he does XYZ, they bring out maybe the second level. So when they attempted to push back against the news that Harry was going to New York, guess what? All the partners Harry is going to be working with came out on social media to either promote themselves, being as though they are introducing themselves to the public for the first time, or they're promoting their projects because we now know them, we know who they are, we know that they're partners of actual foundations, and they're just telling us this is what we've done. I'm going to be showing you a few of them. I have added all the names of the people who came out to say that they were partnering with Harry and Meghan to my list of organizations which we will begin to support when we do our events on Activism Tuesday. I thought that was a brilliant idea to do actually. I was having a genius moment. Oh my god. And I just thought, look at this one. Travelist. Of course, there's a video there. I would love to show it, but it's the YouTube guidelines prevent us from doing that. But they came out to say we are going to be celebrating our fifth anniversary in September with our founder, Prince Harry, and they declared that they've actually grown into a 3 trillion coalition of 11 of the world's leading travel and technology brands working together to make sustainable travel mainstream. 3 trillion, guys. 3 trillion. Not a joke. These are the people that we want Harry and Meghan to be relating with. 3 trillion. What is 1% of 3 trillion? What is 1%? Any mathematical people here? What is 1% of 3 trillion? Because 3 trillion should be like 3 million. 1% of 3 trillion should be 3 million. If they give our faves just 3 million out of that 3 trillion, they have done fantastically well. Anyway, so I have taken down all the names of the people who have promoted themselves, and in the next every Tuesday we're going to be promoting them as well, because the idea is engagement with the friend of my friend is my friend. Is that not how it is said? The friend of my friend is my friend. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So in this case, it is the friend of my friend who is my friend, and that's the energy we're bringing to these people. Sharon says 1% of 3 trillion is 30 million. It's even better. 30 million is even better. This is what those are the numbers we want. Anyway, so the whole idea is that they have all come out to say we are working with Prince Harry and we only have time for Prince Harry. He's the only one we have time for. We don't have time for anybody else. And we are doing well in our association with Prince Harry. And I love that for them because they probably points. The smear campaign has been horrendous. Now, before we dive deeper into this conversation, you know how we do. Let me pause for a second. If you're new here and loving the way we break down the nonsense, hit that subscribe button. Now, really, let's stop dating. If you've been here before as well, this is your day to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And for my loyal day ones, you know the drill. Like, share, and drop a comment. Let's show the world that we're not just watching, we are actively engaging. Okay? Okay. So, um, what am I going on about? Why am I rabbiting on? Well, I'm just breaking it down. I'm breaking down the sequence of events so that you will see, like, step by read the message that we are getting is what I tend to focus on when I'm doing the videos. It's not just to report on the news, because when you look at the headlines, you hardly get a true sense of what is going on. The media are always lying, and Harry and Meghan are always trying to protect themselves, and they don't release any information until they have completed their project. So, in order to determine what is moving in this case. Anyway, so with that said, I'm saying with the announcement of Prince Harry's forthcoming trip to New York, the usual comparison game started. Yeah, the situation provided the toxic British media to do what they do best, the usual guessing game. Okay, Prince Harry's New York visit could steal Prince William's thunder. That is if William had any thunder to be stolen, but yeah, that is what they came up with. Prince Harry's visit, they were so ready to tear into Harry for making a decision to travel to a state that is free to travel, that everyone can travel to with his own money to do his own things. And you even had Rebecca English then now having to come out to say speculation regarding whether Prince William and Prince Harry will be in New York at the same time next month. The Prince of Wales isn't going to the Earthshot Prize event and had never planned to do that. So that begs the question, doesn't it? If Rebecca English, who writes for Daily Mail, knew in July that Prince, how come she didn't tell her colleague who wrote the article on the right, this one here, who is speculating about whether Prince Harry and Prince William are going to meet up? But with the toxic British media, there are always two sides to the whole thing. So while a story might look like it is completely useless, why are they bothering to say it if they know it's not true? Well, number one, it's the usual thing. They need to fill up their newspaper pages. And two, they need to reinforce the idea that there is a beef going on between Harry and his family, basically. Okay? So they need to continuously reinforce that beef that is going on between William and Harry as a way to embiggen William as well in any way, shape, or form that they can. So when Rebecca English announced that Prince William would not be going to New York after all. Then they turned the headline and say Prince William dodges New York showdown with Prince Harry. He'll take Manhattan. Meanwhile, he's not even going there, but he'll, finding every way that they can to embiggen William. No wonder he's not balanced at all mentally, because all of this sucking up, all of this watching people fighting for you when you are not even moving a finger to fight for yourself, mentally, education wise, growth wise, in no way, shape, or form. It's definitely you. It's like you're living a life and you don't even have anyone to tell you the truth. So no wonder he is unstable in emotionally. Um, and Rebecca English, when she wrote that article, she failed. What she was saying that it's what she was saying was that it was not because he failed to impress when he went to New York the last time. No, 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 no. You guys remember this photograph? It was not because William was rushed off the stage when he went to the UN. Do, 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 do. This time, when I tell you that the idea to say that there was cancer in the family was a stroke of genius, I'm telling you, it was a stroke of genius. Genius. That card can be brought out at any time to excuse themselves for anything. Anything. Anyway, Harry and Meghan had already were already like six chess moves ahead of them, because they now know how they operate. And for everybody who has been watching the toxic British media, I think we all know how they operate as well. So before the toxic British media could switch into second gear, Meghan said, "Enough of this." And then she flexed her own power. How did Meghan do this? Okay, I'm going to be discussing this in my next video. I don't know when that will be. It's unlikely to be this evening because I had to, okay, I am very knackered this evening. I had to wake up very early this morning to go and do something for myself. So I only had 3 hours of sleep. So I've been running on coffee all day. But just as I was finishing up my preparation for this video, what did I see? Prince Harry had been in the UK secretly to attend the funeral of his uncle. Oh, sorry, he's his uncle, isn't it? Is his in-law? His mother's sister's husband, Lord Fellows, who died on the 29th of July. There was a lot of speculation, as usual, about whether Harry would attend, he wouldn't attend, but he was here yesterday. Can you guys believe it? Can you guys believe it? Harry was here yesterday and no one heard a thing. He was here. He attended the funeral. Let me look at the article. Okay. So they said, just one moment while I pull the article up. They said that the funeral was yesterday, and William and Prince Harry, although they weren't seen talking to each other at the event, but they did attend. You know what? When I heard that his uncle died, I had no doubt in my mind that Prince Harry would be attending the event. No doubt in my mind that he will be attending. Um, the Okay, so this is the article in question. So it says Harry and William were seen together yesterday to say goodbye to their uncle, but were not seen talking to each other. Princes both felt the princes both discreetly attended the funeral for Lord Robert Fellows, who was their mother Diana brother-in-law. Okay, so this is the guy right here. Okay, and it says they were said to have sat apart at the back of the church in Snetcham, Norfolk. Sources, they say, close to US based Harry, 39, had previously claimed he would not attend. Of course, they have no source. But even if he was going to attend, is he going to be telling you, the son, who he has But the close friends said they were very happy to confirm both princes were there and they were seen at the back of the church. Um, they go on to tell a little bit of the story of the breakdown in the relationship. But what I found interesting was the information actually about the Lord Fellows. It says Eton educated Lord Fellows, who died last month, aged 82, worked in banking before joining the royal household in 1977. He actually worked with the royal family. And it goes on to say he married Diana's sister, Lady Jane Spencer, the following year with the future princess in set, a bridesmaid. So Princess Diana was their bridesmaid when he got married to Lady Diana's sister. And they said he went on to serve as Queen Elizabeth's private secretary from 1990 to 1999, becoming one of her most trusted advisors during a tumultuous period, including Princess Diana's death. Lord and Lady Fellows lived close to the church where yesterday's funeral was held. Lady Fellows joined Harry at a service earlier this year at St. Paul's Cathedral for the 10th anniversary of his Invictus Games. And they go on to say that they reached out to Kensington Palace for comments and they received none. Neither did they receive any comment from Prince Harry's Archwell Foundation. Well, just imagine that. This is Lord Fellows when he was a younger man walking with Princess Diana, and this is the church where the funeral service was held yesterday. Amazing. Harry was and is an excellent soldier, so he knows how to do stealth. Amen. Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. That is, I love it. Like they all have eggs on their faces. And I think completely goes against the narrative which they have been trying to craft for Prince Harry since he was a young man, which is like he's irresponsible, he's selfish, he only cares about himself, he's reckless, he's irresponsible. But at every time Harry disproves them and proves that he is actually one of the, if not the most responsible um, person in the royal family. Perhaps that's kind of what it takes for you to be exactly what they're calling you not to be, if that makes any sense. So when somebody is saying to you, you're useless, you get to a certain stage in your life where you do everything you can to show that you are not useless. Actually, you're quite useful. It kind of, there are some people for whom those kind of commentary challenges them to rise up and go against the negative narrative that they're trying to craft for you. And it seems to me that Harry is one of those people. He'll listen to you rag on him all day and then make sure he does the up. Um Sussex Love says, I thought it was said that he was one of the men that tormented Diana. Really? I don't know. I didn't hear that. It might be, but I don't know that to be the case. But I think one thing about Harry, like you just said, he is able to be um he's able to be objective when he's dealing with stuff. He doesn't just go on emotions like, okay, if he thinks he's able to separate issues. Yeah, you might be a shitty human being, but if he has to make decisions about something else relating to you, he does not then bring how he feels about you being a useless human being into the decision he has to make about whether he would attend your funeral, for instance. Oh, so I think he's that kind of person who separates issues. I am very much that kind of person as well. So hey, it's good to know that I've got a like mind with Prince Harry. Can separate issues completely. um Sharon Marcia Lawrence Hunter. I love your name, by the way. Yes, I can believe it. Harry make the UK media look like children. They know absolutely nothing when he's coming or going. I bet the UK media, Rebecca English, she must have eaten six donuts, maybe 12, actually. Because they were just waiting, probably. They probably have their articles written about how Harry is a useless person, this, that, and the other. And then the next thing you know, Harry proves them wrong by showing up, being the responsible person. So they have nothing to say about that. And besides, um, Lady Fellows, they just said in the article, was one of those who stood up for him when he came to UK for the 10th anniversary of Invictus. So, if nothing else, that support of the Spencer family was quite critical to him. And it's his sister's husband who has now passed away. I think he would put aside how he feels personally about the man and just attend for the sake of his aunt. I think so, anyway. Yes, you're right. So also Harry is close with his aunt. So even if that were true, Harry would come to support his aunt in her time of pain, since that was still her husband. Exactly. Exactly right. Mama Jane. Hey everyone. Hey, how are you? And Cynthia Thomas says he was very close to the Queen. How come you live in the UK and did not know that? Because knew that for years. I don't know. It's very possible. It's just like how most of the British public, just like how most of the British public still believe the news that comes out of the tabloid news. They still believe everything that is written in the tabloid news. So it wasn't until this situation with Harry and Meghan that my eyes actually opened as to the truth of the matter, that the media is not a news gathering organization, but actually a propaganda machine. So yeah. Um And Lottie says only Harry's aunt attended Lilibet Christi. Yes, Lilibet's christening when his own brother and father wouldn't. Exactly. So I don't think there was any chance that he wouldn't attend, even if he had to borrow, beg, or steal the money. He would make every effort to attend the funeral. Not that I'm saying Harry doesn't have the money to attend. I'm just in attendance. Um, uh, let's see. So let me see there. So yeah, Harry has proven them wrong once again, and it has been a week of victory. They have been trying to pick their faces up from the floor um, since the Sussexes came back from their trip to Colombia. Every time they try to push a negative narrative, they get pushed back. And I'm loving the new energy from the Sussex camp because it's giving we are healed and we are still building, but we're growing and we're going to dominate. We are going to dominate. Yeah. So let me see. Hi, Mama Jane. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you so much. uh, uh, Cynthia Thomas, are you talking to me? Never, never. He loved Diana. Why are you saying that about that? I don't know what you mean. Do you want to explain? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to somebody else? Looks like you're talking to somebody else. Uh, looks like you are talking to me, talking to somebody else. Okay, so anyway, this week was a wonder to me in so many ways. Harry and Meghan have demonstrated what their freedom looks like, and it is glorious to behold. I'm not just talking about the trip to Colombia, I'm talking about them now returning from Colombia and then going back into hibernation and only coming out when they want to do, and then information being released that um they denied the toxic British media access to their engagements. And it is the agency to be able to do that. It's so thrilling, so thrilling. Yes, they've still got an uphill battle that they are fighting, but they're it's looking, especially since the first two trips to Nigeria and to Colombia have been done, and there is a prospect of more trips to more countries coming up in the future. So that tells you that the future is very bright. A lot of work that they have to do to build themselves. I mean, they are a huge corporation in seed form. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of work to build themselves up from the beginning. So, of course, it's a lot of work for them. This week has also shown you, and this is even before we talked about Harry returning to the UK for his uncle-in-law's funeral, that he remains to whatever course he has committed himself to. For how many years he has been, I mean, it's the anniversary, the 5th year anniversary of Travelists. It is, I think he's been with African Parks for about 14, 15 years. He has been with, uh, he's got Archwell, which is 3 or 4 years old now. And he has got, what are the other two? The Diana Awards is, he is definitely going to be attending that one when he goes to New York. And then he is definitely he makes sure he keeps tabs and he is in constant contact with all of the organizations that he has anything to do with. He remains committed to his courses. And with the way Harry and Meghan were switching up, did you see the switch up? So after the first wave of conversation regarding Prince Harry is going to New York, and then they say, "Yeah, what of William? William might be going. Harry might be taking William shine." And then they find out, "Oh no, William is not going to New York." And then Megan was like, "You know what? Mm, I have something to say." And then the world stopped still. So, in my next video, I'm going to be talking about what Megan did. It would probably take me a lot longer this evening to go into the second video, just because I'm not sure that I have everything put together as quickly. But yeah, I'll definitely either be doing a live or I'll be doing a recorded video because I love the way they tag teamed. They completely choked the headlines. There was nowhere from them to go in, just as they were beginning to come out of, okay, and William. The next day, Megan cleared her throat. And then all of a sudden, all the news was about Megan. Megan did this, Megan did that. And I think it's just glorious. Glorious. So while Harry supports Megan, while they go on actual foundation events, because if you look clearly, I think you can see that Megan is really the driving force behind the actual foundations uh, events and engagements and the programs in actual foundations. And then Megan supports Harry in everything else that he's doing, I'm sure, with work, with Invictus Games. So the tag team, that's what partnership looks like. I love it. I really, really love the way that they're supporting each other. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this evening. Until my next video, which is going to be discussing Meghan beating the toxic British media at their own game. Um, this is Whizzy signing out. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time on this channel. Join the membership. I haven't talked about that today. Maybe I'll do that in my next video. Follow me on Instagram. The links are in the description box of this video. And I'll see you in my next one. So have a good evening, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really love the conversation that is going on in the chat. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.